minutes before we end the show for today. But I'm reminded that when you talk about access in the Civil Rights Act of 1964, that there's so many young people today who perhaps would like to attend an institution of higher education, but somehow feel that since they don't have the financial resources available and whatnot, that it's almost impossible for them to do so. But why don't you say something about the great possibilities that can be achieved, even without the financial resources, if you're willing to work hard and do whatever. Say something in reference to that.
And I think that's a very important question that needs to be addressed. Education is available, it is here, and there are always ways of being able to enter and to matriculate through the institution of higher learning. In many instances at the university, there are certain types of scholarships, might be certain types of work opportunities while you're there, and in many instances, like many of us, we would work and go to school. But we had as a goal and objective in our life to accomplish an education and to get our degree, because we knew that would help manifest our ideals and our goals in the future. So I would say to any student that is out there to really have your objectives in place, know that you want to achieve it, and go out and work real hard, and you will find people at the institution that will be there and willing to work with you to get the money to be able to go. And sometimes indeed you have to have a part-time job. I know the majority of my students, they work and go to school, and so it is possible to do that. And so I would encourage anyone to do it. But I would also like to say, I think it's very important for us to think about education from pre-kindergarten through elementary school, through junior high school, through high school, before we get there and start learning and doing your very best in school and learning everything that you can so you can be prepared when you get there. That is very important. There are many opportunities and financial assistance available.
You know, Dr. Sanford, during the last 3 minutes we have, let's have you to perhaps say something about the status of education in the South and how for so long the South ranked number 48 or 49 in almost every category. Speak to that and how you see things becoming much better in the southern parts of the United States.
Well, I would hope indeed that they will get better, but we are sitting in a state right now that is still 48th or 49th in the entire union as far as education is concerned. But when we say that, that is not to say that we don't have some private schools that are doing very well. But when you think in terms of public education, there are many southern states that are still way behind as far as equal opportunity, as far as educational success. And I think we really need to have some educators, some people who empower, who are sensitive to that. And this comes from really the top down and all the way down to the local area. But we have to have someone who is really sensitive to it, willing to put some money behind the claim of wanting to have improvements there. I think we have excellent teachers. We're having different social problems that are emerging into the society in which we're living in, because we're living in a telecommunications society and technology, and that's pulling people away from wanting to just sit and read for the sake of reading and feeling they are getting something out of it. So we're going to have to use some very innovative ways of reaching our students today. But if we had that as sincere goals and objectives and tasks to accomplish them, I think we could really have some good outcomes. But we really need to look at it very seriously.
Well, do you think, Dr. Sanford, that we could really say that the stage really might be set to move the state of Tennessee and some of these other southern states up higher in terms of their ranking nationally dealing with public education? Do you think that, for example, I think we talk about the lottery, the access scholarships, and et cetera. Do you think that that might be one of the ways that we might be able to deal with some of the issues that we have?
That's an excellent point. And I think anytime you have some type of money to add to education is certainly going to help improve it. So I think that is. But we also have to look at the most recent data that's come out. You look at our educational system in America, it's still kind of subservient to other European countries when it comes to math and science and those types of things. Our report card came out relatively low again. So we have to really give it some serious thought. And I think with the lottery funds, with any types of funds ones that needed to be placed, we need to think about the culture in which we are living in and how we are being impacted by this new technology that's there. And new technology is excellent, but it has to be used in the correct way to try to improve our skills. And most of it, of course, comes from just being focused.
Very good. And of course, Dr. Sanford, let me thank you over the last few seconds that we have here for that excellent information dealing with the public education system and the Civil Rights Act of 1964. And let me encourage our audience to tune in again next week for another informative edition of Comments. Thank you and good morning.